What is up, YouTube? Back again with another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about what made World War II so great, and in my opinion, one of the best, if not the best, COD, either ever made, or at least on this current generation, and why I think it's the best since BO3. I think AW is what I consider the last old gen game. I know people like to call BO3 a last gen game, but I consider it a new gen game because it's the only BO3 is the last COD to be made on new gen only by Sledgehammer. By Treyarch. The BO3 that was on PS3 and Xbox 360 was not made by Treyarch. It was made by like a college group of kids or whatever. That doesn't mean it had money and help from Treyarch, of course, but it was not dominantly made by them. Advanced Warfare is the last COD to be on both generations, made by the company that made the initial release. So I guess it's the last old school generation. And I would say Modern Warfare 2 and Advanced Warfare are the two best for old school generation. Black Ops 2 is way overrated. And nothing anyone will say will ever defeat that. I mean, it's just a fact at this point. Black Ops 2 had so many issues, it was unbalanced. I don't even want to go into it in this video. But I just want to point that out. But I think from BO3 up, World War II is definitely the best. I think Infinite Warfare is definitely second place. Infinite Warfare is an awesome game, but I definitely think World War II takes a cake. Put lots of time in the game. Put lots of time in all the CODs on next gen. Even Cold War put tons and tons of time into it. And I will say this video is going to be slightly biased because I do play World War II frequently, more than I do Cold War at the moment. But this is also coming from a person who's put thousands of hours into Call of Duty, probably more hours of Call of Duty than your professional players who play esports do, because they're playing a little bit here and there, but like I literally play every second. Like there's lots of times where I fall behind in school sometimes in classes because I play COD that much, which is kind of sad to say, but at the same time it's like to hone your craft you need to sacrifice sometimes, and sometimes I sacrifice. Some say the wrong thing, but being my grade that I'm in, everything I'm learning is already stuff I knew. So, anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. Let's get into some of the things I want to talk about. So, first off the bat is just the community in general, right? For the most part, everyone you're going to meet in World War II is pretty decently nice. I haven't really had too many super toxic players, and most of the time, if you shit on them once or twice, they're not an issue no more. So that's a huge bonus. And always a COD, a Cold War community, or BO4, or a Modern Warfare community where they're super toxic, and literally like if you do not drop 1,000 kills per game, you're garbage. Also, there's no skill-based matchmaking, and that is, I think, is a huge thing. Is the last COD did not have skill-based matchmaking. Some might argue that BO4 didn't, and you are all wrong. No matter who you are, what rank you are wrong. BO4 is the initial game that initially surprised us with skill-based matchmaking. And you can see that just by playing the game. If you're anywhere somewhat of a decent player, you're getting stuck with other really overpowered players, and it makes it just unfun, like 24/7. This is the last game where you can be level 1,000, and I can tell you this now, out of say 100 games I play a day, only about 30 to 40, maybe 45, pushing it maybe 50 of those games will have 1,000s in it. And half the time, they're garbage 1,000s, they're not even good players. So it's very welcoming. It's a game you can play and don't be scared of. If you understand how COD works, you will be okay. Especially if you're running the gun I'm running this gameplay right here, which is a STG. It's pretty standard. I mean, you can go pretty crazy with this thing. As you can see what I'm doing. Another big thing is the map design. See, a lot of people hate this game's map design because it's World War II era and it's not realistic, and it's not feeding you kills because it's not a garbage game. People hate on the map design, but this is what old school COD map design is, which is what we want in COD. You know, we don't need more of this garbage ass map design that we have. You know, this is what we want. You know, you can see a lot of these maps are three lane, sorry, and most of them are very push friendly, and they're also very defense friendly. I mean, you can play this map right here, this is I forgot the name of it. Octane. I think it's Octane or whatever the fuck you pronounce it. And this map is very push and defense friendly, so you can play both playstyles, which I think is awesome. You know. Sorry guys, I have an ulcer in my mouth. Sorry, I'm in lots of pain. Going into the next thing, weapons. Weapons in this game, there's shit tons of weapons, and then they're all very easy to get. If you play the game for about 2 weeks straight, 6 hours to 5 hours a day, 12 on the weekends, you can get every gun in this game pretty much really quickly. To give you kind of an understanding, I put in about 30 hours this week of this game, and I probably would have put even more if I could play this weekend, but with my internet right now at this moment, it's really crappy and this is not loading for me at all. But I only put about 30 hours in, and I've went from 650,000 army credits up to 695,000 army credits. So I've gone up like 50, almost 50,000 army credits. And that just tells you that you can get those fast. I don't do like super big challenges. I mean, those are literally just me playing the game, doing daily challenges, and all that kind of stuff. And you get more for doing other stuff. Overall, this game is really solid. This game has very good kill time. It's very fast, very fluent. But like it's to the point where you can still win a gunfight even if you're weak. I know in modern CODs like Cold War and Modern Warfare, it's very hard to win a gunfight. When you're on a streak or you get shot at, right? Well, in this game, you can survive a lot of gunfights, and a lot of shitty gunfights too. And I think that's what makes this game so great, because it's not like other CODs. You're not punished. You're not, forced to play a certain way. You can play whatever way you want to. Last night, I literally got a 2-minute and 36-second nuclear with a sniper rifle, a bolt-action sniper rifle. And there's not very many CODs you're capable of doing that. A lot of the modern day CODs, sniping is frowned upon for quickscoping, when that is what sniping in video games is all about. If you want to play realistic sniping, then go play a different video game, but that's not what this game is about. COD is an arcade shooter. I don't know how many times I've stressed that about people. But I have some personal family friends who play COD on PC, and they hate quickscoping. They think it shouldn't be a thing. And it's hard talking to them without being mad at them, because they don't understand what COD is. They say they do, but COD has always had quickscoping since pretty much day one. And yes, it is true. It was a glitch at first, but it was appreciated for what it was, and that's why we have quickscoping now. It's stayed in the game for all those years. And that's what this game does. This game really shows, and I see that a lot of times in snipers. That's why you see a lot of quickscopers in the game nowadays. A lot of people that play newer CODs are coming back to this COD because it's better for them. And this is why I think this game would be better suited if it was relaunched again in the state that it's in now. This game did have a rough launch. It did. There's a lot of balance issues, a lot of map design issues. There was a lot of bad things happen. But within the first year or so, this game, they fixed a lot of shit, man. They really did. I powered through it, got Chrome and everything the first year. There was a lot of issues. I won't sit here and deny there wasn't issues. But this game did an amazing job. Sledgehammer Games, like always, does an amazing job with their video games. And, Advanced Warfare was awesome. Pretty much since launch, that game was awesome. And this game, they did a really good job of improving themselves. And I wouldn't be a hard person to sit here and say that wasn't the case, right? Overall, this game is amazing. For anyone that's interested in picking it up, I stress to pick it up, man. Enjoy the game. There's so many things that could go on to. I don't want this video to be too long. Honestly, the streak system is awesome. Story was awesome. Zombies was crazy good. Camos were awesome. They were just right. They weren't too over dramatic. They were just right. If you wanted moving camos, you had them. You had some rarer camos, you could get them moved, and also you had the mass prestige camos, which incited you to grind to mass prestige. And then you also had your camos that didn't move. So you had your best of both worlds. Supply drop system seemed pretty balanced in my opinion. I've opened probably about 100,000 supply drops in the game, and it seems to be fine. Sometimes, for me anyway, since I'm 1,000, it can be hard to get stuff out of supply drops. It's not duplicate. But for most of you guys that aren't 1,000, you shouldn't have that issue too much. Overall, I think they did a fantastic job. And I'm excited for Call of Duty War 2 Vanguard. It's by Sledgehammer Games. They're the only COD company that has not let me down to this day. And I have high hopes for it. I like World War II era. I think it's where COD needs to stay for a little bit longer. Because we as COD community haven't grasped what it means to be fucking modern era. We think that modern era is either Cold War or today. like that's not what Modern Warfare is. The Modern Warfare era should be more based around, other time periods and just, now and the Cold War. Like Cold War and Modern Warfare is. And if we're gonna do if we're gonna do Modern Warfare, like Modern Warfare style game, we need to do a Modern Warfare style game, not a fucking Arma 3 Call of Duty game. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. But anyway, I'm rambling at this point, so I'm gonna end the video here. I love World War II, and I'm glad to play it. And I'm probably playing it for the next 2 years, depending on how this COD goes. And I really do. I'm hoping by the time this COD comes out, I have a PS5. And this may be my first COD experience. Maybe my first COD experience or video game experience on PS5. So that'd be pretty cool. And yeah. So for the time being, fuck Modern Warfare, fuck Cold War. We still in this World War II grind, baby. #1 in the world. Let's go, baby. We derailing that from one player, bro, because they're fucking dog water. That #1 player in the world is dog water. We derailing that person. That's our spot, baby. We taking that back. But yeah, see y'all in the game, man. We on that road to 1,000 nuclears. We're at 514. And until the next video, hopefully my internet will be back. Maybe I'll be streaming tonight still. Who knows? My Wi-Fi stayed on this entire time making this video, like recording over like the voiceover on this thing. So I mean, we'll have to wait and see, but I appreciate you guys for watching this video, man. Love World War II. Love you guys on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Peace.